In this video, Avery and I are making cookies. Avery is my granddaughter, and she's out of school today because they're expecting a major storm. So she and I decided this would be the day to make cookies. We're checking out the ingredients, and I'm going to send her to get them. So I coach her a little bit in this video today, but she pretty much knows where everything is in my house. She remembers from when she lived with me a little while. No, we don't know when the storm is supposed to hit exactly today, but we'll just see how it goes. Isn't this chocolate chip crinkle divine? So she needs to go get my sugar and other stuff. Eggs. She's such a little helper, Avery is. Alright, now we need to start putting some stuff together, actually. What we're doing is preparing cookies for the classroom for Easter. She would like to share a little treat bag with every one of the students, and so we need to make individual cookies, wrap each one individually, and then put them in the treat bag. So after we're done making these, we'll have to put the cookies in the freezer so that they will stay good until the actual day. She's having some difficulty getting this bag open. I try to help her, but I'm not sure I'm doing any better here. It's kind of difficult for me to decide who should do what. Okay, well, I guess I'll pour the flour, but I don't think I'm doing any better than she would have. Of course, the cookie recipes we can take liberty with. And of course, I know that we don't need to sift the flour, but I just thought it would be fun for her to actually experience how some baking is done. I know that some recipes do call for sifted flour, but this is a fun experience for her, I think. Okay, so I told her to go not too fast, and this is what she decided to do. It's interesting how people will interpret what you say. I say, don't go too fast now. was almost painful. But it's not obnoxious sounding either. It's just, alright. Just wanted to shake it up a little bit so we could get it down to the bottom. She is actually having a lot of fun doing this. But she doesn't know what to expect necessarily. She's just going along with it. I told her Mom to bring her an Eastery colored shirt. So she brought a pink shirt with her. But she came over in her pajamas, and I got one look at the pajamas and said, those are perfect. So Avery's in her Easter colored pajamas. Alright, so we're checking this out to find out what our next step is. So while I'm doing this voiceover, I've got a pretty nice spring day. So we're going to hear birds singing in the background. And it's going to be a bit incongruous to the fact that we are having a storm today. Right now, outside, it is raining lightly. The salt shaker looks like a mouth. Okay, what's next? I'm going to have her. Now, mind you, again, this is just to create a bit of nostalgia using a wooden bowl and have her experience using a really old-fashioned beater as opposed to the electric beater. Just getting the hang of it. There, I sped up a little bit there, gaining some confidence. Okay, so I am going to probably read the bag again with her one more time. Of course, we read the bag every single time we have to do something for the sound and for reminding us what's next. We're going to put together some of the wet ingredients now. I think she's learning some things as she goes as well, because I'm having her read the instructions. So we're gonna go melt the butter here. Sometimes Avery is a little nervous around things that are hot. Earlier in the video, I tried to teach her how to light a candle. She's 8 years old. I think she can pretty much handle that. But she had a very difficult time getting the match to, she kept tilting it upward so the fire was heading towards her finger. So I didn't get as far in my lesson as I wanted to. So I turned on the stove for her. It's probably good for her to have a little healthy fear of flames and fire. I do believe that cookies would have a better consistency if we did not melt the butter and we just creamed the sugar together. But then we would miss the wonderful crackling sound of butter being cooked on the stove. And then I have Avery, so I want her to be able to mix it with the sugar without too much trouble. There's a lot about the process of baking and mixing that can get pretty violent and loud. Depending, you know. Okay, so that butter does smell so good. It did. Alright. So we're just going to add our sugar next. I had to touch her hand to remind her. Each step I had to kind of instruct her what to do, and there's a couple things that she just kind of forget. Now, I never put vanilla in a bowl first. Doesn't seem right, but as the process went, it just was the easiest thing to do. I told her to do the sugar this way because I could not figure out how in the world I was going to pour clumpy brown sugar into a measuring cup without spilling. I told her to press the brown sugar down, and she didn't put enough in her cup, so I put mine heaping so it would make up for the difference. So, you all might not be able to hear it in this video, but we are getting more wind at this point. And the weatherman did say that the storm was going to be pretty severe, but I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it at all. But they thought that it was going to be so bad that it would end up canceling school. And they did cancel school, so that's why she's here with me. Getting a train now, folks. Okay, I told her to use the spatula to get the butter out of the pan. And I guess the angle I'm holding it just really didn't work. It didn't matter. So I just figured, let's give up, let's get out of here. Alright, so now she gets to experience putting the butter and the sugar together. And we'll see how she does. I think it's difficult for her because the bowl is so big and everything's shallow. And I didn't even foresee that I could have had a much smaller bowl than this. That's why I tilt it all kind of downward. And it would have been nice if I had my spatula and could help her bring it down to the bottom. But no, I did not. Struggle, she had to struggle. There we go, she got smart and brought it down. So we got the sugar, the vanilla, and the butter in there. But we still have yet to add the eggs. Look at her struggle. This is so funny to watch over again. Alright, so I asked her for an egg for me, and she's gonna do her own. Like most kids, Avery stays interested in a project for only so long, and then after a while she wants to go do something else. So throughout this whole process she kind of comes and goes. But that was okay because there were things I needed to do to set up for each new scene. So she was able to get away for a while and then come back, get away, come back. And now I get to show her how it's really done. This was kind of fun for me. To actually have someone else hold the bowl. Makes a difference, Of course, this is a really old and heavy bowl. Okay, I'm gonna let her lick the beaters. That's why I handed it to her. Now we're ready to put the flour into the mixture. I tried to explain to her what 3 parts was to do it in thirds, and I couldn't get her to comprehend, so I just said, just tilt the bowl towards me and I'll take a third. She's 8 years old now, so there's a little bit that she doesn't comprehend about fractions, but I didn't have the patience to pull out a piece of paper and draw her a pie. If I had drawn her a pie, then she would have understood what 1/3 is, or 1 part of 3. You're just trying to follow the directions. So here now we get some of the flour sticking to the bowl. What's going on? No, you do it. She couldn't get any much more out of there than I could. There's a lot that was stuck to the bowl, which may have contributed a bit to the fact that our cookies did turn out kind of flat and less exciting than I wanted them to. And you can see that Avery is trying to get up every last bit of flour off the table. I thought that was so darling. You know, we were planning on going ahead and putting the cookie dough into the refrigerator. And we never got a chance to do that because our electricity went out. The windstorm got so bad. But I just have to show you what we did anyway, because this, what happened happened. So I wanted to give her the joy of stirring the chocolate chips in, and she did enjoy it. But I told her, you gotta get vigorous here. You gotta really put some muscle into this. So here you can see she's really, really trying harder. She's getting it every last bit off the edges. That's so funny. So normal, right? So here we're rolling out the dough. And, well, actually we did get to refrigerate the dough for a little while. I was mistaken. That's what happened. I had forgotten that what happened is we refrigerated the dough and we were able to make these nice dough balls. And then the electricity went out, so the cookies sat for the longest time. Okay, here, so we're doing the dough balls now together after we refrigerated it. That's right. Now I recall. So I don't know if you can hear the wind going outside. Everything looks so peaceful and serene. But here, the storm hit us so hard, and I thought, oh dear, we don't have electricity, so let's do it. Let's, Avery wanted to go look at the storm, so she and Grandpa just kind of hung out together and watched things flying around in the air. And all I'm thinking is, we gotta make these cookies. I gotta get them done. So I brought my cutting board over to the window for some light and finishing them off myself. And I'm not being all too careful or particular about it this time because I'm thinking, well, now we have to get these back into the refrigerator, but are we going to? Will we be able to? Because the storm is so bad that I don't know if the refrigerator will come back on. I just don't know. So interesting thing is that while I'm doing this, I had no mind to worry about anything that was happening outside. We get storms here all the time. And one severe storm seems like another to me. But during this time that I'm rolling these dough balls out, there's mayhem happening all over the city, all over the town. I mean, it reached into several counties that got damaged in their yard, in their house, in their roofs, and it was bad. As a matter of fact, the storm going on while I'm doing my cookies here is so bad that we lose a tree in our backyard. I don't know why none of us heard it. It must have been the most silent falling tree. Maybe it went slowly. At this point, all I'm thinking is, are these M&Ms really gonna cook and not fall apart in the oven? It's like, oh, okay. I saw it, done on in a recipe that I saw on the internet, and I thought, well, maybe it'll work for me too. So I got these M&Ms mystery mix, and the eggs have all different kinds of fillings, and I don't know what's what, But so while I'm worrying about whether these candies are gonna cook in the oven properly or not, or whether the electricity is going to come back on or not, I have a tree falling down in my yard. And, the fact that we didn't hear it, I'm thinking, really, because it was so tall and it was among other trees, it probably actually didn't make a lot of noise. It probably just slowly, the roots must have upended, and branches from the top of the tree probably got tangled in the branches of other trees. It probably just did this slow descension, and then it landed on the fence. Our privacy fence in the yard, and it just made this big gaping hole in our beautiful fence. And the tree, being so tall, crossed almost the entire yard of our neighbor's yard. And at that point, I felt ever so thankful that they did not have anything of significance in their yard, because we would have been responsible, maybe indirectly, if they didn't have insurance or whatever, to repair or whatever got damaged in the yard. But there was nothing back there. Thank God for that. Just a couple of junk vehicles that they didn't care that much about. So, thank God for that small favor. I just love how these cookies look before they're cooked. But so, after I get done with all of these, we had to wait another 2 hours, I think, before the electricity came on. But we're just gonna bake them anyway. That's Avery very carefully putting the cookie sheet into the oven. And you can see that our cookies are kind of coming out really flat. I was so disappointed about that. But at this point, we're just going, yay, the electricity's back on. We can bake things. And rather than, because it's getting late and her mom is going to be picking her up soon from the house, we just needed to get these done. So we didn't try to re-chill the dough. We just were just like, okay, let's finish this. And by now, Avery has had a taste of the cookies, and she goes, they're great, they're fine. And yeah, the lights, I don't know if you can tell that the lights are flickering here and there. But we're feeling a little nervous about whether the electricity is going to go back off again or not. I mean, it took them several hours in town to get it fixed. I guess we blew a transformer. Now that was something we did here a few times where the electricity tried to come back on and we heard loud popping sounds. You know, at this point, actually, we didn't know that our tree was down in the backyard. It wasn't until the next morning after we did this video that we found the tree. So, Avery informed me that there were 28 students in her class, and I went, oh no, you mean the 24 bags I put together for the kids is not enough. So we scrounged together the last few candies that we had, and it turned out there was just enough. Just enough. At this point, Avery has abandoned me again. She wants to go play with Grandpa or turn cartwheels on the exercise mat that I have inside of our house. Oh, the cookies aren't half bad. I would have liked to put the 3 eggs on each cookie for a more aesthetic look, but I didn't know they were going to come out this flat and misshapen. Just terrible. But they eat good. The kids are still going to love them. Okay, Avery's back with me now, and so I am noticing that she's having some trouble here getting the cookie off of the spatula. And they're all so flat and misshapen, and then I have to cut every single one of them. I should have just made one big dish and cut them in squares. It would have worked out better. And there's barely enough room on the cutting board for all of them. And there's just a bit of irony about the fact that I am trying to make a calm and relaxing ASMR video, but meanwhile, mayhem and havoc is happening outside. And I could have completely hidden the fact from you, but it was such an event that I just had to share. That's why I'm doing my commentary this way. And so, during this serene scene here, I am listening to wind and rain, and you can't hardly hear it. I don't know why. But hopefully you could hear it a little bit now and then during the video. But interestingly, I have remained calm and relaxed throughout this whole thing, except for when the electricity went out, and I was just like so upset. I was so upset because I knew this is what was going to happen to my cookies. It's like, never mind that there's people losing their trees and roofs outside, you know. I want my cookies to turn out good. I've got to get my values straight, right? Avery's gone again. Don't know what she's doing, but Grandpa's out there. Okay, just we got the last batch here to do, and this one's looking more challenging than all of them so far. After we were done with the cookie video, Avery got out the exercise mat, and well, that mat was already out, but she was starting to practice her cartwheels. And it was very rewarding to see that by the time we got through coaching her and Mom got back home, she was able to turn almost a perfect cartwheel for her mother. That was the other accomplishment of the day. It turns out that Avery is a pretty accomplished artist already. She's drawing some very beautiful and very interesting art. So I'm thinking she might be either a graphic artist in the future or a cartoonist or something like that. She's very gifted. Is there room for one more cookie there? I didn't care too much about the ones that didn't have eggs on them because I knew Avery was probably going to eat them. She definitely got a sugar overdose that day and probably bounced off the walls the whole next day with her mom. I never try to make Avery eat right when she's at my house because it seems like such a lost cause. She has such a finicky way of eating, and I never seem to have the right foods. So the one thing that she does love is sweets. And she loves butter. It's so funny to watch her just lick butter straight off of a spoon. I'm going, ew, gross. I can't stand the texture of butter unless it's melted on toast or something. But if it's just straight butter without it being melted, gross, gross, gross. I don't like it. But she likes, I do love dairy though. She loves dairy products too, but yeah. She loves marshmallows and squishy things, and I'm just going gross, gross, gross. I don't like marshmallows either. I don't like pudding. Anything that's kind of bananas, avocados, anything that has like a really, it's hard for me to eat pudding or just things that are got that squishy texture. But she loves it. So she's doing a pretty good job of just wrapping each piece, but I, meanwhile, am having some difficulty ripping off pieces, and I can never seem to get a consistent size piece for her to wrap the cookie in, so she has to make do with whatever I give her. Better to err on the side of too big of a piece rather than too small. But I am going to very, very carefully, what I did is I'm going to very carefully put all of these cookies into another Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer until the very day that she brings them to school. So they will be like fresh baked when she brings them. So we're baking these cookies ahead of time, obviously, because I make all my videos ahead of schedule, and this was her opportunity to come and be with me. Sort of like last chance before the actual day of Easter comes, and the kids at school have the Friday before the weekend of Easter. Did I say Thanksgiving earlier? Oh my gosh. That's what was in my head. I don't know if I said it or not. But anyway, still have the Friday off before the Easter weekend, and then they'll have the Monday off after the Easter weekend. And so we had to grab this opportunity to do this before Easter weekend. So what I'm going to do, which I am not going to be able to videotape, is put a cookie in each of the treat bags on the day that she brings them to school. Okay, we are on our last plate and a half here of wrapping cookies. And towards the end here, we started to get a little bit more fast at what we were doing. Which is the same for anything that I attempt to do, especially on videos. It's like the first few tries, or even 10 to 20 tries, are so slow. Well, I'm trying to figure out how do you do this. And then you get into a groove and it goes faster and faster. But there is no making the saran wrap box cooperate and go faster with me. And I'm not using name brand saran wrap. There were a couple times that we got a piece that was so tangled that she couldn't get it apart, and we had to ball it all up and throw it away. Sometimes saran wrap is sticky here. See, here's for another time when we're having some trouble. It's like it's counterintuitive because it's so sticky you can't even get it to lay down. Overall, we ended up having a lot of fun, and before we did this video, we colored the Easter eggs together too, and that was fun. So it's just been a really nice day to get together with my granddaughter. She's a delight, and she's a joy to my heart. If you look over at the Easter eggs, you can see that one of them has her bracelet draped across it, and that's because she was wearing it and it kept knocking against the table and everything, and so I had her take it off. And she says, "Here, let's decorate the eggs with it." And I thought, okay, that's cute. But we had a very blessed day in spite of everything. Exciting and blessed. And here she's eating a cookie because we actually had one extra cookie with the eggs on it, and she wanted to try it. And that's just about it, you guys. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful Easter. Stay safe. Count your blessings. And we'll see you in the next video. Okay. Bye-bye.